Dubailand, Dubai's crazy $63 billion theme park. It was planned to be the largest entertainment center in the world, putting together a variety of theme parks under one huge venue. But as a result of a major global occurrence in the 2000s, the project started to slowly crumble. This ambitious theme park was known as Dubailand. Various attractions of Universal, Marvel, and many more were all connected to building facilities in the United Arab Emirates. Today, what exists of the complex is the skeleton of the dream that was first imagined. Today we are going to discuss this great idea from what had been planned to what went terribly wrong and what's actually going on today. So let's get started now. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai, who is also the current Prime Minister of the United Arab Emirates, broke the news of this major project in 2003. This was the concept of the Dubailand. The project was being developed by the company Tatweer, which was associated with the Dubai Holdings, a company founded by Al Maktoum for the development of Dubailand. The development budget was set at $64.3 billion. That's almost $91 billion today. The goal of the Dubailand was to become a tourist destination in the world. It would be built in 107 square miles in the desert area of Dubai, just a 10-minute drive from the Dubai International Airport. The resort had intended to have within its boundaries around 45 mega projects and 200 sub-projects. The complex would also have other facilities besides containing several theme parks. 6 zones were designed to draw tourists of all kinds inside Dubailand. There was the world of attractions and experience, the world of shopping and entertainment, the themed world of leisure and vacation, the world of ecotourism, sports and outdoor world, and downtown. By 2010, the government had expected to draw 15 million visitors. The main reason for the Dubailand development was to minimize the UAE's dependence on oil revenue, likewise pull in a substantial income from tourism. Compared to 2017, the UAE exported products worth an estimated $308.5 billion, almost half of which came from oil alone. Dubailand would initially be completed in phases, with the first plan to be completed by 2007 and the final phase by 2018. However, it wasn't according to plan, but it has nothing to do with the errors of those in charge of the project. The blame lies mostly with the global recession that took place in 2007. It wasn't until 2009 that the so-called Great Recession ended, with some economists claiming that it was actually 2013. The collapse of the housing bubble was one of the biggest contributing factors. Mainly in the years prior to the development, the U.S. banks had created mortgage loans which relied on the assumption that house prices would continue to grow at the same rate. The banks then sold these packages to other banks worldwide. World banks claimed that these packages were secure. Interest rates went up in 2005 and borrowers defaulted on their mortgages. Banks in the US and around the world had started to lose a lot of money. It was found that the mortgages that world banks bought were practically worthless. Now all these banks had to see their assets drop. This had a knock-on impact on the economies of nations around the world. In 2005, middle-class families in the U.S. had a net income of $106,591. By 2011, it was $68,839. So with all of these global financial problems, the Dubailand was also seriously affected. The project was put on hold indefinitely in 2008. Nothing was being constructed across the whole complex. Half of the construction programs had been canceled or suspended. Almost all Dubailand workers were discharged from the project in 2011. The developers had to take drastic cost-cutting steps. It was understood that the idea of a huge park was now unlikely with the crash of the real estate market in the UAE. They had to reach for something more realistic within the constraints of a broken market. In 2008, the average selling price of a villa in Dubai was about $700,000. By 2011, the average had fallen to about $490,000. Not long after the report of this decline, many of the major franchises engaged in Dubailand started to withdraw from their agreements. The construction of Universal Studios in Dubailand was one of the canceled plans. A joint venture of $2.2 billion was negotiated between Universal and Dubai Holdings in 2007. There would be 5 places in the facility that would be themed differently. The project first broke ground on site in June of 2008. Not long after, the development of the studio was placed on hold for a while, along with all the other construction work. In terms of restarting the construction work, talks between the two companies would continue. During those years, a doorway with the Universal logo, which had a path leading to nowhere, would be left isolated. By 2016, the partnership was officially called off to build Universal Studios Dubailand. In 2008, the Dubailand creators reported an agreement with Merlin Entertainment for almost $250 million US. This agreement would be the first time that Legoland had been established outside of North America and Europe. The park was scheduled to occupy 3 million square feet of Dubailand. Legoland in Dubai would have more than 40 attractions to draw families. However, the venture was canceled again. The very first Legoland, besides North America and Europe, was instead built in Malaysia in 2012. Later, Dubai would get its Legoland in 2016, which would be installed in Dubai Parks and Resorts. Six Flags, one of the giants of American theme parks, came to an arrangement with Dubailand in 2008. This would contribute to the construction of a new 5 million square foot facility inside the complex. It was the first Six Flags park from outside North America. The facility was due to open in 2011, but those plans soon failed. The agreement between Dubailand and Six Flags was finally called off. Six Flags, however, still desired a Dubai park. As such, a new contract with Dubai Parks and Resorts was struck. The new area was slated to start in 2019. However, news broke shortly after the agreement that Dubai Parks and Resorts lost a huge $302 million in 2017. With regard to financial problems, the establishment of a new contract was also called off. Before the MCU became a powerhouse, the UAE was due to get a glimpse of some Marvel superheroes in 2008. The company negotiated with the Dubai developers to have a 4.5 million square foot park built in the Dubai complex during the year. Prior, Marvel had initially agreed to an arrangement to provide facilities in Al Ali Park. The cost of this construction was estimated at a cool $1 billion. In Dubailand, the new home of the Marvel superhero theme park was set to open in 2012. Yet as a result of Disney's purchase of Marvel and the global recession, the plan was canceled. Marvel would instead be introduced into Dubai on a much smaller scale. More on that later. While the Dubailand suffered an amount of casualties in their initial grand scheme, they still have a limited number of facilities within their boundaries. One being the stunning Dubai Miracle Garden. This garden, stretching 780,000 square feet, was first launched in 2014 to the public. It's said that it only took 60 days for 400 people to bring together Phase 1 of the beautiful garden. There are 40 million flowers arranged in different shapes and patterns within this first phase. The park also has the distinction of breaking a number of Guinness World Records, one of which being the creation of the largest flower structure in the form of an Airbus A380. In 2018, the garden also signed a contract with Disney. This deal allowed the garden to create flower sculptures of Disney characters such as Mickey Mouse's record-breaking tallest supported topiary in the world at a little over 59 feet. Beyond flowers, there's also the Dubai Butterfly Garden. There are over 15,000 butterflies within the indoor structure. The estimated cost of the whole venture is around $11 million. Due to the lack of theme parks, Dubailand has increased to establish high-quality facilities within the complex. In 2012, Dubailand awarded a contract to property developers. This contract would make the Mudan Group to develop a residential area within Dubailand. Many of the properties inside are beautiful, but they can also be very costly. One of Mudan's properties is this 5-bedroom villa in a quiet suburb. The master bedroom has a balcony on it. The villa also comes with a swimming pool. It's currently on the market for $3,280,000 United Arab Emirates dirham, which is around $893,000. We finally have the massive amusement park that was actually set up on the Dubailand. The IMG Worlds of Adventure opened for the first time in 2016. With 1.5 million square feet, the park is claimed to be the biggest indoor amusement park in the world. In 2014, the park's developers obtained a loan of $326 million to construct the park, which turned out to be a drop in the ocean. After all, the park was priced at $1 billion in 2014. The IMG Worlds of Adventure have a variety of themed areas. There's a Marvel area with a range of rides, restaurants, and stores around the MCU characters. Also, there's a Cartoon Network zone that highlights characters like the Powerpuff Girls, Adventure Time, Ben 10, and so on. There's a Lost Valley that's all about the dinosaurs. The IMG Boulevard, which includes different rides, restaurants, and shops, is the final section. There's even a Novo Cinema 12-screen multiplex inside the park. In 2016, IMG also revealed a 2 million square foot second theme park called IMG World of Legends alongside all the areas. It would have 9 zones that would include big franchises like Pokemon, Assassin's Creed, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and more. The park was due to open in the year 2020. It's likely to be delayed though. You've just watched Dubailand, Dubai's crazy $63 billion theme park. Which one of the canceled facilities do you wish was still there? Tell us in the comments. We hope you liked the video, and thanks for watching.